Hola, ¿qué tal amigos? Buenos días, buenas tardes y buenas noches. No importa la hora que sea, siempre es un gran momento para aprender español con Profesor Pablo. Our lesson today is before. In English, we say before and we use it all sorts of different ways. But in Spanish, in your mind, in English, if you're thinking before and you want to use before in Spanish, you can go one of four different ways. You want to make sure after this lesson that hopefully you can choose the correct way. We have four clusters here to look at. First of all, there's ante, antes, antes de, and antes de que. Ante is used as a position in terms of in front of, but like in front of the judge, like ante el juez, in front of the court, ante la corte, in front of the authorities, ante las autoridades. She needs to appear in front of the judge. Ella necesita comparecer, presentarse ante el juez or la juez. It also means facing, like facing adversity, ante la adversidad, facing many problems, ante muchos problemas, facing a death threat, ante una amenaza de muerte. It means facing in front of like a judge, authorities, a court. Not used too often. Antes by itself just means before. I'm going to do it before. Lo voy a hacer antes. When are you leaving? ¿Cuándo te vas? Antes o después? Antes, before. If you want to say before ing, like in English, before leaving, antes de salir, before eating, antes de comer. If you want to say before plus ing like we do in English and Spanish, it's antes de plus infinitive. Why? Because prepositions, if they're immediately followed by a verb, the verb must be in the infinitive form. Before getting married, antes de casarme. Before making a decision, antes de tomar una decisión. Before buying a house, antes de comprar una casa. Before anything, right? Ing, it's going to be antes de plus infinitive. Before plus noun, it's just antes de. Before school, antes de la escuela. Before church, antes de la iglesia. Before the game, antes del partido. Before the wedding, antes de la boda. These are all very, very simple. When you have before and you follow it with a conjugated verb in English, like before I left, before I get up every day, before with a conjugated verb, you're going to go antes de que and subjunctive. Now you can use present subjunctive or past subjunctive. Remember, present subjunctive is based on the yo tense, the yo form, change it to opposite vowel. AR verbs is E, ER and IR verbs is A. Past subjunctive is based on the aorist form of the preterite. Change that final O to an A, and from there build out the rest of the forms of the past subjunctive. You can also tag on a verb number one in ando yendo. You can tag on a verb number two in aldo ido. We'll take a look at that. Our examples, in front of the judge. She needs to show up in front of the judge. Necesita presentarse ante el juez. Facing injustice. They decided to blah, 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 blah. Ante la injusticia, they formed a group. Formaron un grupo para protestar, to protest. Ante la injusticia, facing injustice. Before school, antes de la escuela. Before leaving, antes de salir. Before eating, antes de comer. Now, our last two columns of clusters are all in the subjunctive. Before I was born, nacer. You need to go past subjunctive. That's going to be nacieron, change that O to an A, and there's your answer. Antes de que yo naciera, N-A-C-I-E-R-A, naciera. Before it starts raining, antes de que, well, you need present subjunctive. You take empiezo, change the O to an E, which is the opposite vowel. You have empiece, but remember the Z changes to C in front of an I or an E. So it is antes de que empiece a llover. Remember that the yo form of the present subjunctive is the same as the it form, the el form, the ella form, and the usted form. Before it starts to rain, it's the same thing. Antes de que empiece a llover. Before they realize it, darse cuenta is to realize something. It's reflexive, right? So it's before they give themselves account, literally. Antes de que se den cuenta. Where does den come from? Well, you take the yo-o form. Well, doy, the verb dar in the yo form, doesn't end in o, it ends in a y, so it's irregular. It's one of those 6 irregulars in the present subjunctive. De, and add an n. Antes de que se den cuenta, the it is understood. Before it's snowing, like let's finish up before it's snowing. Vamos a terminar antes de que esté nevando. We're taking a 1 right here, ando. We're taking an 8, esté nevando. The verb number would be 81. Before someone gets hurt, we say that all the time. Stop before somebody gets hurt. Stop. Parar. Paren. Stop. Paren. Before somebody gets hurt. Antes de que alguien lastimarse is to get hurt. You want to go present subjunctive opposite vowel. Lastimo is a yo form. Change it to an e. Before someone gets hurt, reflexive. Antes de que alguien se lastime. And before the bell rings, sonar, it's an O to UE. You're going to go present subjunctive. Antes de que la campana suene, or antes de que suene la campana. Before they have finished, well, we're going to take haber in the 8, and we're going to take terminar in the 2. So antes de que, wait a minute, it doesn't end in O, it's irregular, it's haya, add an N. Antes de que hayan terminado, it would be an 82, before they have finished. Before he had been living in Spain. It happened before he had been living in Spain. Pasó antes de que él. Now we want the past subjunctive of haber. We want the verb number 2 of estar. And we want the verb number 1 of vivir. So it would be antes de que hubiera estado viviendo en España. You could say before he lived in Spain would just be antes de que viviera en España. Before he was living in Spain, antes de que estuviera viviendo en España. Before he had been living in Spain, antes de que hubiera estado viviendo en España. Verb numbers 0 through 9, that includes all the commands as well. There's nothing to do to a verb that can't be done in numbers 0 through 9. Before it's too late, okay, we better do something before it's too late. Debemos de hacer algo before it's too late. Antes de que, take the verb ser, you need present subjunctive. Soy doesn't end in O, it's one of those irregulars. Sea. Vamos a hacer algo. Tenemos que hacer algo. We have to do something before it's too late. Antes de que sea demasiado tarde. And the last one, before we run out of gas. This is another one of those reflexive acabarse with the indirect object pronoun. The acabarse shows us that the gas ran out on itself, like you didn't plan for it to happen. And then we're going to use nos to show to whom it happened. It happened to us. So let's go to the gas station before we run out of gas. Vamos a la gasolinera antes de que se nos acabe la gasolina. The acabe agrees with la gasolina. Vamos a la gasolinera antes de que se nos acabe la gasolina. What comes in front of antes de que? It could be anything, right? We could be here for a month of Sundays coming up with examples that come in front of antes de que. But our focus is that when you want to say before followed by a conjugated verb, you have to go antes de que in either present or past subjunctive. And no, you can have a tag along. You can have the ing or the ed form. Okay, to summarize quickly. In front of the judge, ante el juez. In front of the court, ante la corte. In front of the authorities, ante las autoridades. Facing adversity, ante la adversidad. I'm going to go before. Antes. Voy a salir antes. We're going to leave before. Vamos a ir antes. Salir antes. Are you going to be there before 1 o'clock or after 1 o'clock? ¿Vas a estar allí antes de la una o después de la una? Antes, before. So if you're just saying when and you want to say before, it's going to be antes by itself. Simple. Now, if you say before plus an ing form of a verb, it's antes de plus the infinitive. If you say before plus noun, it's antes de plus the noun, including the article, of course. Like, again, before school, antes de la escuela. Okay, our examples again. Ante el juez, ante la injusticia, antes de la escuela, antes de salir, antes de comer, antes de que yo naciera, antes de que empiece a llover, antes de que se den cuenta, antes de que esté nevando, antes de que alguien se lastime, antes de que la campana suene, antes de que hayan terminado, like we need to let them know before they finish. Tenemos que avisarles antes de que hayan terminado. Before he had been living in Spain, that's when it happened. Pasó antes de que él hubiera estado viviendo en España. Before it's too late. We better do something before it's too late. Debemos de hacer algo antes de que sea demasiado tarde. Before we run out of gas. Vamos a ir a la gasolinera antes de que se nos acabe la gasolina. Vamos a la gasolinera antes de que se nos acabe la gasolina. Antes de que se nos acabe la gasolina. Okay, so that's it. So, most importantly of all four is good. Well, we're going to be the last two. Certainly these two. Antes, before, just you want to say before by itself, it's antes. If you want to say before, like before the judge, meaning in front of the judge, the position in front of the judge, before the court, before the authorities, you're going to go with ante and then your noun. Facing adversity, facing problems, facing a threat, you're going to go ante. Antes by itself, again, just means before. Before, in an ing form of the verb, it's antes de plus infinitive. Or antes de plus noun is antes de plus the article and the noun. If you want to say before plus a conjugated verb, that's going to be antes de que plus the subjunctive. 8, present subjunctive, or 9, past subjunctive. Okay? So that's it. So your homework would be to create some phrases that have before and see if you can do it with the infinitive, do it with a noun, see if you can do it by itself, see if you can say ante in front of the judge, in front of the court, okay? And see if you can say before plus a conjugated verb, and that would be subjunctive. Okay, es todo por ahora. Please like, please subscribe. It helps out a lot. Greatly appreciate it. Y hasta la próxima lección. Cuídense mucho. Bye-bye.